welcome to another review with the two gamers, Mark and Sarah.
Hi.
Today we are reviewing Wroth.
Ooh, Wroth. The nations of Drudgen have been locked in combat for generations. Can one brilliant commander rise above the fray and lead their faction to victory on an island with limited space and resources? You aim to find out.
Let's find out on the table right now. Here's a game of Wroth set up for 3 players. Over the course of several rounds, you will compete for victory points. Each round consists of several phases that are laid out on these convenient player aids. After the first round, Phase 1 will advance the round marker and pass the first player token. If in Phase 2 anyone controls a region with a bonus action, those bonus actions will be carried out now in order of the region number. In Phase 3, each player will place 2 of their basic troops into their deployment zone, roll their all-seeing die, and gain 1 Cora. In Phase 4, the first player will roll all of the action dice, and then in player order, these dice will be drafted until there is 1 die remaining, which will be then given to the player in last place or discarded if there is a tie. The bulk of the action will take place in Phase 5, where players will take turns taking the actions on 1 of their action dice. These actions include gain 1 Cora, deploy up to 2 troops to a region you occupy, deploy up to 2 troops to your deployment zone, or instead move up to 2 troops to an adjacent region, and attack a region you occupy or an adjacent region for 1 damage. When moving troops, it is important to note that there are 8 distinct regions on this map, each numbered. When moving troops, you will move to 1 adjacent region, meaning from here you could move to Region 7, Region 6, Region 4, or Region 1. The deployment zone is a neutral area with each player's units. It is also adjacent to every territory numbered 1 all the way up through 6. No battles may take place in the deployment zone, nor may you attack a territory from the deployment zone. In addition to a player's action on their turn, they may also use their all-seeing die, which has its own special actions that can even up to modify your action. In addition to their normal action, a player may also spend Cora to deploy elite units or use a special ability. Any elite units gained by doing this will go into their deployment zone unless stated in the description. Instead of taking their normal action, a player may discard any 2 of their action dice, including their all-seeing die, to take an Exodus action. An Exodus action will allow a player to take all units from a single territory and disperse them to any other territory or region that is connected or adjacent to that region. Once all actions have been taken, play moves to scoring in Phase 6. This is determined in region order by the total number of troops each faction has in that region, regardless of troop type. The player with the most troops in a region scores its victory points. If the player that controls the region also has an elite troop in the area, they will score its victory points in addition to the region's victory points. If there is only 1 faction present, they score 1 bonus domination point. If after scoring, any player has reached at least 30 victory points, whoever has the most victory points wins the game of Wroth. Component-wise, this is Chip Theory Games. They always do an incredible job. You've got neoprene playmats here, and for the score track, all of the faction boards are double-sided neoprene playmats. And so these are player side, and this is the AI side, and there's different artwork for each side also. There is a double-sided player aid, which is awesome. I mean, you don't even need this half if you're not playing, or if you are playing competitively, but it's right there. So if you are playing cooperatively with an AI, all of their stuff is here. Same thing right here, round overview. This is excellent. And the very quick overview of what you can do on your turn, and then you have the AI, what they do. So these are awesome, and these are also their typical PVC for cards. More on that later. The dice, really nice screen printed dice, and they're in this awesome dice tray that just holds everything and then some. And then you have, actually I'll just go over the rule book right now. This is really thick, high quality paper, and as always, really awesome art that is continued from these into the rule book, in addition to some background on the factions if you care about that sort of thing. Then the main tray here that has all of the other components. Again, just really nice, thick quality plastic tray. Good well for each of the pieces. All of the different faction pieces are really nice. A nice little sculpt, very detailed for how small it is for each one of these factions. And a place to hold everything, and some empty spaces. If, let's say, maybe they want to come up with a third or a fourth expansion faction, there's room. Then you've got these little typical jewel shape for the Korra, and then there aren't very many chips in this game. I mean, it is chip theory, but there aren't very many chips in this game, but the ones that are really good quality, double-sided. I'm not sure what this is, if it's a sticker inlaid to the chip. It's not screen printed like the dice are, but it's still good quality. They aren't like super hefty, but they're also really small, so whatever. Then there's the big chip for the first player token, and this is pretty hefty. It also, I'm not sure if that is screen printed or a sticker inlaid into it, but regardless, it's good quality there as well. Then you have the cards. So these are for the player powers. So when you choose Coda, then you get to pick one of these player powers to have for the entire game, and only one. So here's some more replayability. You can play this 3 different times and have a completely different experience for just that faction. And really nice art on all of these. You've got the different faction emblem and the person you're playing as right there. And these are all Chip Theory's typical PVC cards that have a tiny little texture on there to keep them from slipping, and but really good quality cards here. And then lastly, you've got the AI cards. So these are the different scenarios you can play. So there's 3 scenarios you can play with the Uglin. Now here's the one thing that I'm kind of disappointed. This is AI, right? And so you would think that they would put the AI art onto this card, because if I am using this card, I'm not playing as the person here, I'm playing the AI, right? So this art should be on this card, which that's a little disappointing, but you know, it's not, ultimately that's not a big deal at all. Again, I'll give you another example here. This is the player side, this is the AI side. This art should match this. Again, a tiny little problem that isn't even a problem. It's just kind of a bummer that they weren't consistent with that. But regardless, this gives you the background of the mission that you are trying to accomplish, and all of the stuff that you are trying to accomplish on that if you are playing cooperatively against this AI. And so there you go. That is the components, and the box here is, again, nice, thick, and really good stuff. Awesome art, spot, UV, and there you go. That is the components for Wroth. All right, so Chip Theory game, obviously really good components and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
And this is a game that was designed by Manny Trembley, actually, in addition to art by him. And the art is very different than Manny Trembley's normal art style, though it is still really good. I mean, it may be a little more divisive to some people, especially if you are a fan of just his normal type art, because it's a little more loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it's like he didn't color in the lines.
Right. Yes,
and
not at all.
It's really fun, actually. It works really well.
Yeah, incredibly vibrant.
Yeah. This game is so eye-catching.
Yes.
So we first saw this game at a Dice Tower convention, and it drew me to the table.
In fact, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, how stunning it was, how beautiful. It really, really does draw you in, the look of it. I just love how vibrant it is. So it was one of the reasons why we wanted to play it, just because it looked so amazing. And then the components drew me in as well. So that's what really... Those two things made me really want to sit down and play the game. And I went, oh, area control might not be my favorite type of thing, but the look and the feel of everything made me want to sit down and play it. And I'm so glad we did. Yeah.
It's a beautiful game.
It really is.
I mean, art-wise, again, some people may not like that style of art, but if you do, it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
So, as far as the rulebook is concerned, it is not the best rulebook. I have read way worse rule books, but this one is not great, especially for your first read through. It's a little obtuse. It's not, to say it again, it's not great. In addition to that, there is one rule that is really unclear, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you. It refers to the points that you get for having elite troops on the board. And this section is under victory points and under the domination. So if the player who controlled a region is also the player with troops there, they receive an extra victory point. So this is under control and all that kind of stuff. And it says, many elite troops have special abilities that allow them to claim additional victory points from regions they occupy. For each unique troop with victory points in a region, gain the number of victory points during scoring. And there's a little bit more there that isn't really relevant, but to the point that I'm making. But that seems to say that you get the points no matter what if your elite troop is on the board. However, again, it is under the control section.
Right.
And so the question there is, do you get them no matter what if your elite unit is on the board?
Do you only get them if you control that particular area?
Yes, if they're in an area that you control or dominate. And so it seems to say the former, or yes, it seems to say the former. And so there are people out there who who play it that way, and that is how it is. But I did a little bit of research, and I discovered that Rodney Smith and his Watch It Played got in touch with the designer and Chip Theory and discovered that the way that it is intended to be played is that you only gain those points if that elite unit is in an area that you control. And so that
good for him for figuring that out.
Yes, absolutely. But that changes the way the game works drastically, because you need to control the areas with those elite units to get those points.
Right.
Also, I should mention that that rule is very easy to forget.
And we completely forgot it on our first gameplay.
Playthrough, which was at the convention, and I didn't know the answer to that, and so I don't even remember how we played it. If we played it where we just
forgot about it.
But yeah, that was the point. Was it didn't matter whether we were doing it right or not. We completely forgot about that rule, and
we mentioned that in our first impressions. I did a really quick short on our first impressions of playing the game. We interviewed the people we were playing with, and one of them mentioned, yeah, we forgot a rule which really could have changed the entire game.
Yes, and in fact, lengthened the game.
It lengthened the game.
Yeah, this rule, you're going to get more victory points when you do that, and so the game will be shorter since it ends at 30 victory points. So, all of that to say, rulebook not great. It's not horrible. You can definitely play the game off of the rulebook.
Oh, yeah.
But it's difficult to understand in some places, and there is one rule that is really poorly written. Now, going back to gameplay, the gameplay is really well. It's
I
a
love this
really
game.
good game. Yeah.
Spoiler, I love this game.
Yes, it's very good. It's really nice and short for an area control game.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I just don't want to sit down for 5 hours and battle out an area control game. I grew up playing Risk with my dad when I was really little, and I remember
and you never want to experience that again.
I remember it taking multiple evenings to actually finish the game. And at the time, I loved that. I was playing with my dad. It was great. But I just don't, for me, I prefer the more short and sweet area control, and this hits that perfectly.
Definitely. And the player aids are really nice because I often complain about the back of the rulebook being unused. And that's true for this. The back of the rulebook is completely unused. However, in this case, it's actually just fine because the player aids that they provide cover everything that you might put on the back of the rulebook anyway. And so that isn't necessary in this particular case. In addition to that, there's tons of replayability with all of the different factions.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if you get the two
extra expansion ones?
The two expansion ones.
Which we did.
Which I should mention that it comes with 5. Now, if you're playing with 4 people, then you're only not going to use one of them. And so the expansions really increase that replayability. You now have 7 if you get both expansions. You have 7 different factions that you can play.
Right, and we have seen every faction played on multiple plays, and I am nearing, personally, playing every single faction just myself.
Do you have a favorite so far?
I don't know. I want to try the one I tried at the convention again, now that I know more about how to play the game.
I believe that was
And that was the one that looks like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
That's right, the dwarf faction.
I really like his ability. So asymmetrical factions, each one has a completely different ability, and so it's so much fun.
And plays very differently.
It does, and so I really enjoy playing this game multiple times over and over. I mean, let's play it now. Let's sit down and play it again.
Right.
It's so enjoyable, and each faction has such a unique ability to it, and I don't feel like I've quite mastered any of them yet.
Well,
I need to play them multiple times to really do justice to the faction and how it's set up. So the more I play the game, the more I feel like I play it better and doing much better with each gameplay.
Right, but that doesn't mean that you can't do well with a faction on your first play with that faction.
Right.
None of them are so, at least the ones that I've experienced and the ones that you've experienced and what we've heard other people talk about, the ones that they've played in our plays. There isn't a single one that is so, again, I'll use the word obtuse, that you can't understand how it works the first time you play it.
Oh, I agree.
But it's going to take 1 or 2 more playthroughs to really dial in.
I want to master each faction, so we're just going to have to keep playing this game.
Sounds good to me. So far we've talked about the competitive mode. It does have a cooperative mode.
Yes.
That we have tried.
Each playmat has, on the flip side, it's an AI version.
And so the co-op mode, you're going to pick one of the factions to play as the AI, and then everybody else that is playing plays against the AI. Now you can do that solo as well. I have not played the solo, or I've not played it actually solo, meaning by myself, but the play is exactly the same as the cooperative. It's just with one person. And the cooperative was okay.
The cooperative was really hard.
It was very difficult.
I enjoyed the challenge.
Yeah.
Because I like this game so much, and because, like we said earlier, it's a short and sweet area control, so I wasn't invested for 6 hours trying to experience the co-op version.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing that. I'd like to try the co-op with a different faction. Again, we go back to the replayability on this game. There's a lot of replayability. And
each of them has, so the co-op is set up and played a little bit differently in the sense that it's not just domination like it is in the competitive mode. There are goals that you have, and you're trying to complete those goals. Yeah. Each AI faction has 3 different scenarios that you can play against that AI faction. And each of them has a different mission objective. I'm not positive that they all are victory points, but I believe most of them are victory points. and then they have different things that happen throughout the game. And so, talking about replayability, if you want to play this game cooperatively or solo, there's a lot of stuff. So 7 factions and 3 scenarios per faction. That's 21 different scenarios that you could potentially play. And each one being that it plays out slightly differently, you may want to play them more than once, because it's very possible you won't win it on the first time because you're kind of learning how that one plays out, right?
We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
It was very challenging playing the cooperative play.
Now, if you are interested in that, again, there's a lot there and the game is really good. That's not quite what I enjoyed about this game. And so I don't know that we will play it a whole lot cooperatively.
Yeah.
It's going to be a competitive game. And that is what it is sold as. It just happens to have a cooperative mode, which is really nice for those of you that want it.
And I agree. I prefer it competitive.
Yes, by a good long shot. To the point where, I guess, going into our final thoughts and our rating, we're definitely going to give this a ring of distinction.
Absolutely.
Having said that, I'm not sure if it was cooperative only. I'm not sure that I would give it even that.
Oh, cooperative only?
Yes.
Right.
If there wasn't the competitive mode, I probably would not give this a ring of distinction.
I still might, just because of how amazing the art is and how amazing the components are. And like we said earlier, it's a short and sweet area control game. How do you give this anything less? So I think I still would.
You can tell that we really enjoy visuals in games. How it looks, table presence.
This game is stunning.
It is. It definitely is. So, there you go. That's our final thoughts. We really enjoy this game. It has made it onto our shelves, and again,
and onto the table multiple times,
and again,
and we'll continue to get to our table.
Ring of distinction.
Absolutely.
For Wroth.
Wroth, so good. Check it out. Pick it up. It's awesome.
It is. All right. See you next time. Have fun playing games.
Bye.
Bye-bye.